Okay. Hey guys, it's been a while since I posted on this channel. I apologize. So first thing, the updates. I haven't been posting on this channel partially because I got a job and I've been working 8 to 5 every day, which doesn't leave a whole lot of time for producing things, but also because I was working on a project with a couple of my friends over the summer, and of course it's almost November now, it's no longer summer, although right now as I'm recording it's 80 degrees in California and it's November. Too hot in my opinion. So we've been working on that. There's still a couple things that are sort of getting fine-tuned and finished, but as soon as those are done and as soon as we're all ready to launch, I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned for that. Second, I have actually been streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rinjas, I believe. If I'm wrong, link will be in the description. And definitely I've been on there a little bit more often than on YouTube, because it doesn't take a whole lot of editing to do live streaming. Third announcement, just because I haven't been posting on this channel does not mean that I've stopped producing music. So I've actually been spending a lot of time producing music for my church. We just created a YouTube channel, link in the description, where we have been posting old recordings from when we were still allowed to go to church. And also a couple new recordings where we have been getting video or audio from some of the members and cutting them together and mixing them together and producing them. If you guys are interested, you can go and check it out as well. So let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. I was preparing a D&D one-shot for a couple of my friends that will actually be airing on the Twitch channel in a couple of weeks. So make sure to follow so you know when that'll happen. And the whole idea, or the whole concept, started with the song In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. And it sounds a little bit something like this. So if you've never known the name, you do now, but I'm pretty sure you've heard the song at least before. But anyways, so in the play, and I'm not going to go too much into the summary because it would make this video incredibly long, and I just want to make it really short, but I want to sort of center in on a interaction that the main character, Peer Gynt, has with the Troll King in Act 2 of the play. One thing to note, in Peer Gynt, the trolls are sort of the antithesis to humanity, the antithesis to mankind. They sort of stand for everything that man doesn't. And so in the interaction, the Troll King asks Peer Gynt, what is the difference twixt troll and man? Or what is the difference twixt man and troll? I don't remember. I'll have the actual reference here so you can tell me if I was right or if I was wrong. And so anyways, the Troll King also answers that question. He says, you know, in the world of man, it is this idea of man be thyself. And in the world of trolls, it is the idea of man to troll, my bad, to thyself be enough. And at first when I read these, I was like, are they the same thing? Do they mean the same thing? They sound really similar. And so I went and did a little bit of research. And as I was doing research, I was a little bit troubled by what I felt were improper uses of Henrik Isben's sort of formulation. And I'll explain that in a little bit, which is sort of what I wanted to talk about. So I saw a lot of people going and saying, you know, I was having a hard time. I felt that I was a failure. I felt that I wasn't good enough. And then I remembered in the play the phrase, to thyself be enough. And that was encouraging because it just reminded me that all I have to do is be enough. And as long as I'm trying and as long as I'm doing good, that's all that matters. I was looking at it, and when I read that, it felt wrong. And so I stared at those two phrases for a long time, and then I realized what was wrong. So like I mentioned, the trolls are the antithesis to humanity, or sort of the antithesis to what you would consider good values. And so when the Troll King says, troll to thyself be enough, it's not a virtue. It's actually a bad thing. And so here's why. So the phrase man be thyself, what that means is being genuine, and not being genuine sort of in the sense of like being open and being honest and being sort of like, hey, you know, this is me, this is who I am. What it really means is looking at yourself and recognizing the highest form. I don't like using that phrase, highest form, but that's sort of the best thing that I could think of at the moment. But like recognizing the optimal version of yourself. Recognizing where would you want to be at the end? At the end of your life, where do you want to be? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to have stood for, and what do you want to have not stood for? You know, character building, valuation building. When you look back at your life, have you done something worth something? Have you done something of worth, or have you done something of value? That's what it means, man, be thyself. It is the sort of highest ideal mentality where you set a goal and you work your way towards that goal, and you strive and you struggle, and sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's easy, but you make your way there, or at least you get as close as you can. That's what that means, man, be thyself. And it's a really optimistic and virtuous lifestyle, right? I'm not saying it's easy to do it, right? We all encounter hardship, we all encounter difficulty, but it is doable to some degree. If you set a reasonable and truthful goal, it is reasonable to assume that you can reach it. The idea of troll to thyself be enough is the antithesis of that. It is assuming that where you are is the best. It's assuming that as long as you exist, and as long as, you know, you're fine, quote unquote fine, that's all that matters. It takes that idea of where you are is fine, you're good enough, you're perfect, you don't need to do anything to really improve. And I think that, but that mindset is harmful. You know, so when we go and we look at the end of the play, Peer Gynt, because of his sort of going with the flow, escaping responsibility lifestyle, he's not done enough good things to go to heaven, which is a completely different discussion. I have a lot of feelings about that. And if you guys are interested, I might make a video on it, because that topic is really, really interesting and really important, you know. But anyways, he hasn't done enough good things to go to heaven, and he hasn't done enough bad things to go to hell. And so he's sort of stuck in the middle. He encounters a character called the Button Molder, and the Button Molder's whole thing is, you don't end up in either of these two places, so I'm going to take you and I'm going to melt you down and make more people like you. And that scares Peer, because what that has told him is, your life meant nothing. And I think that is the scariest thing that you can tell somebody, or the scariest thing that anybody could admit to themselves, that everything that they've done or their whole life didn't mean anything, or their whole life was lived without value. I think a lot of people are scared of that, to be honest. And it ties back in with that phrase, troll to thyself be enough. Even though Peer spends the rest of the play as a man, he lives as a troll. Even though in his body he still looks like a person, on the inside he has taken their philosophy, and it sort of characterizes the rest of his life. And that made me wonder, if we stopped telling people that they were perfect and they didn't have to change anything, and everything they did was 100%, and we started telling people to evaluate themselves seriously, to make goals, to have value, to build character, I just wondered what that would do for our society. You know, and of course I recognize that everybody starts at the same place, and I recognize that some people have it harder than others, and I recognize that there is a certain level of culture involved in what you value as of value and of importance and of having worth. But I think even just the idea of living up to your potential, I think even just the idea of acknowledging, yes, I'm not where I could be, but that doesn't mean that I have to be okay with where I am. I think that's an important idea. I think it's an important concept, you know, even if you don't ascribe to Christianity. I think at least having a goal and having something worth living for is very important. I think being told that you're perfect all the time is bad for your mental health, because it goes one of two ways. Either one, you're being told that you're perfect and you're being told that you're fine all the time, and that's sort of in conflict with the reality that you know, which is you're not perfect all the time and you're not fine all the time. It creates an extreme amount of cognitive dissonance. for those individuals, and for lack of better phrasing, for not operating under the truth, which is that you could be in a better place or you could be somebody else, is actually detrimental to them. And I think it can also go in the other extreme as well, where people are being told that they're perfect and being told that they're fine, and they believe that I am perfect and I am fine, and they don't do anything to change. And in the process of not changing, they actually get worse. When you don't improve, you don't stay in the same place, you tend to decline. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And because these people have been told that they're perfect and have been told that they're fine all the time, when people come and tell them, hey, you're not actually perfect, and hey, you're not actually fine, they get upset. It conflicts with their understanding of the world, and so they throw these people out or they shut them out, and in the process they're harming themselves, because they could be better. And if they strive to be better, then their life might be better off. But because they have this belief that they're perfect, anybody who tells them otherwise is a detractor and they will not be tolerated. So that's just sort of the thought that I had. I've been trying to apply this idea to myself. I think I want to live my life as a man and not a troll. Having something to strive for, having a goal, is a good thing. It encourages growth and encourages thought. It actually, I think, in some ways makes you more considerate, because you acknowledge that other people are on the same journey that you are. And that's a really important distinction to make. You know, and of course, the concept of be thyself, like what worldview do you use to orient to what thyself is very important. I think is another video. Geez, that's like 3 videos ideas in this one video. If you guys really want to hear about any of those topics, please let me know. I would love to make those. Those are things that I think about all the time, to be honest. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found this entertaining. I hope you found this thought-provoking. Thanks for watching. I will let you guys know when the one shot that inspired this conversation starts on Twitch, and I will also let you know when that other project finally launches. In the meantime, you can find my work on the church page in the description below, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.